Hi everybody, this is Aspen Pittman and I'm coming to you from Aspen's Place Recording. I have a couple of dear guests here today. Mr. Fred Daniels, his contraption, which is an amazing stereo generator.
Stereo and 5.1.
Stereo and 5.1. And then I also have my dear friend Michael Lehman Boddicker, who has come to join. Actually, he came in to see Fred's contraption, which is called Limitless. It's a way of organizing 40,000 different synthesizers and pianos into one box you can play live, which is kind of interesting. During the process here, both of these guys and many of the SS3 guys out there have been asking me for a bigger box, which I've been working on for a long time to get just the way we want it. Looking for a fall delivery. For those you guys that have it on order, thank you for your patience. We love you, and it is coming. Your patience will be rewarded. But anyway, while we were sitting here and Michael was listening to it, he said, boy, that's really fantastic. It's the first time you had a chance to hear it. So, Michael, thank you for coming. Thank you for being my friend for so many years. Thank you for supporting Centerpoint Stereo. You are a blessing to me, and I thank the Lord for you every day. And
Likewise.
So if you would like to play some stuff and talk a little about what you think about the new big box, I would love that.
Well, I would love to. The thing that I noticed right away was how complete range it was. Like, it sounds to me like I'm playing through a musical PA. You know, not a PA because a PA tends to be too stark on the top end sometimes, but this. It sounds full, it sounds great, it's got a lot of low end. I think there's a B3 sound here. You can have, there's a patch, there's a pad, but it's omnisphere. Then there's a Rhodes, though it's just the way he's got it laid out. You can lay it out any way you want. A Wurlitzer here, and then some brass.
That's good.
You know, very, very nice.
That's big. That's very big. The XL really likes that sound.
See how easy
That's
that
pretty.
was, though?
Yeah. Kind of like the ultimate orchestrator. It's got everything right there.
It does. It has it right at your fingertips.
And it sounds so good through that new Spacestation XL, by the way.
Oh, I love the way it sounded. I mean, I get to get lost in the instrument. The XL, which is located about 18 feet away from me,
right.
It just sounds great from over there. You know, it has a lot of growl in the lower. It allows my growl to be heard.
That was a focus us. A lot of people wanted to get down lower. The Space Station, it goes to 100 cycles pretty nicely, but below that we add the powered subwoofer, and it's great. But now this is one box. Right. You don't need the power. It goes down to 50 cycles flat, and of course it doesn't stop at 50, but for this most part, the lower end of the keyboard is well represented now. We have a 12-inch in there now versus an 8-inch, so that made all the difference. My good friends at Eminence made custom speakers for this box, so.
Really?
Yeah, they made it just for this box. It's basically the 8-inch speaker blown up. It's the same concept. It's coaxial, so it's got a 1-inch horn driver, but it's a titanium driver now, so it goes very high up. We don't need the super tweeter in this box. You've got all the top end you want. This is 750 with 3 amps, roughly about 250 per device. And that would be a 12-inch woofer. That would be a horn driver, the titanium horn driver, and also the 2 side speakers we have in this are now in a new configuration. So instead of having one speaker right underneath it, which was always kind of a limiting factor with the center point stereo concept.
It was 180 out.
Right. We put the speakers out here and made another cabinet to put it on. It compromised the 3-dimensional effect. And so how do we get it right underneath? Well, we did it with technology, digital signal processing, DSP, that's got a built-in computer. And what we did is we aligned the speakers digitally. Even though they're sitting out a foot apart, they both come back in about 6 inches from the left and right. And they appear to be, for all the world, directly under the center driver.
So for those who are worried about it, the amount of delay is infinitesimal.
No, there's no delay. You don't notice it.
Because they're moving 6 inches,
and also the
right?
signals are different. So you've got the primary signal in front. You would notice latency if we messed with the primary signal. The secondary signal is your chorus, your delays, your reverbs, all that sort of stuff. They're already messed up. They're already technically mind-boggling.
It is a fraction, it is a nanosecond.
It is very, very small, but it's enough to move them 6 inches either to the front or even less than that. But the idea being now, because we've been able to do that, we can actually capture those 2 speakers in a separate speaker cabinet. As usual, speakers need to be in a cabinet to maximize their bass response and their fidelity. We're still tuning everything to be flat with DSP, but in addition to that, we're actually changing the orientation where the 2 outside speakers are moved in, so you actually have the effect of it being under the front speaker. That's called Digital Transducer Alignment, DTA, and it's actually a new patent that we filed for on this particular device. And there's another patent on the angled input jacks. Nobody had ever actually patented that before, and nobody had done it, but we thought it was a great idea because the jacks come in from the sideways. They hang down away from the amplifier, and if the amp happens to fall forward, they don't break. So it gives, and then of course on this one, unlike the SS3, your control panel's on the front. So you have 2 channels on the front, so you can get 2 keyboards in this. You don't need a mixer if you are just 2 keyboard guy, which is typically what you see out there. Also, they have a different sensitivity. Each channel has the ability to be a sensitivity of keyboard or for a mixer, where on the SS3 we had to average it in the middle. This we can actually change. So you can put a mixer into one and then...
So it's +4 and -10.
Exactly.
And if I'm playing live, like at a church situation, whatever, I can have my piano patch up and easily crossfade to my
It's one of those end of the sermon patches.
The thing that has been more of a joy than anything here, although I love hanging out with my 2 friends, is hearing it played through this XL, because the XL sounds great, and I'm not wanting anything more. I'm not going, boy, I wish I had a little more oomph in the low end. I'm just sitting here playing my instrument, and it sounds...
Forgetting about the speaker. That's what you want to do. You want the sound to just be real and there.
That's exactly.
I want them to forget about. No more complaints on this one. Oh, do I need to add a sub? Not really. By the way, you could. It's fully balanced in and it's fully balanced out, and the sub output is now called mono or sub. So if you want to send you can send the
and
mixed.
That's not cut off though. There's no
No,
roll
there never
off on
was.
that.
It never was cut off. But we called it sub, and that was always a question, right? Now we have an output that is left, right, or mono. They're balanced, and so they're +4. You can send them to front of house. And remember, if you've got 2 keyboards coming in, that's your mixer now, right?
Right.
So whatever is mixed in the front end comes out the rear end as left, right, or sub, or mono. So if you want to add another full range speaker, let's say over on the other side of the stage, you want to send it to the front of house, you got all the options there, and they're all fully balanced. So that it's TRS and XLR. So you don't have to go out and buy special cables. It's double the weight, but it's triple the power, about double the price. Thank you.
My pleasure, Aspen. Always a pleasure.
Michael Lemon Boddicker.
I've never had anything that you've made that I didn't love. It's great. All the microphones, love the microphones. Still daily, I use this. Yeah, the brand new one, the dual top.
The DT1.
Yeah, take it. Show them why it's called a dual top.
It's called a dual top 1, which of course is going to make noise when I unscrew this, but the top comes off, so it's a great vocal mic, and it's also a great drum mic or a guitar mic. So it does both things, and if you want to get close to it, it's a hypercardioid pattern, which means that it's extremely. Let's put the top back on here. Make a lot of noise. Sorry about that.
RX5,
don't do this while we're
RX6.
So it's like this. It's very, very directional. If I use it like this, if I want to get very up close and personal, I can do that.
Right.
Or if I want to get loud back here, it'll do that. It takes 146 SPL, so even I can't blow it out. So.
With your resonant
It's the dual
pipes.
top 1.
That's great.
Dual DT1. Available at Sweetwater and other fine stores like Washington Music Center, Levin's Music Center, like Corner Music in Nashville, like Bellevue American Music Center in Seattle. We're just starting to build our dealer base up a little bit.
And if you want to try out the XL.
There is actually only one place in the entire Los Angeles area, which is SST, the finest purveyor of synthesizers and keyboards probably in the country, that has an SXL there. You can see Alex, and you can rent it and try it out in a gig. And until then, till the fall, when we actually release the big run, which is pretty much sold out, we're now taking orders for the second run. And you can get one there and try it out. And we do have a couple of beta testers out there around the country using them right now, getting really good reports and really good reviews. So I'm confident we're there with the product. I've delayed releasing it because I wasn't 100%. I'm now 100% happy with it. What you're hearing is what people will be getting.
Beautiful.
And so I'm really excited about bringing out the second wave of center point stereo. And actually, I tell you, if a lot of guys ask me, how much, where would I use an SS3 if I got an SS? So most of the guys that got these on order have SS3s. They just want something bigger for the bigger gig. You're still going to want the SS3. Don't forget it. It's not going anywhere. It's the best product I've ever had in my lifetime as far as response from people who've been using it. It's not going anywhere, but it's smaller, lighter. The new one is only 31.5 pounds. We just did a light version by taking out the transformer, the SS3 Lite. It's sold out. Basically, I'm sold out of them. I'm waiting for the next shipment. Sweetwater still has some, and some of the dealers around the country still have them. Waiting for that new one. But in the meantime, the SS3 with a sub is a really good solution for the medium gig. This will be the solution for the medium to large gig.
I didn't even feel like I needed to take a sub most of the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Most guys leave them home. They get them because, they got gas. Gear acquisition syndrome, right? That's what they call it online, gas. That product gives me gas. That's a nice thing to say because it means gear acquisition syndrome, which it's after my time.
That's funny.
But it is funny, isn't it? That product, they say that online. I was at the Keyboard Corner Forum. Those guys are great over there. They've been a real supporter of us. By the way, a great website if you're into listening to talking about keyboards. Go to Keyboard Corner on the musicplayer.com website. Those guys are great. They've been very supportive. There's so many good guys there that have helped me out and get started on all this. And we've got our thread on Space Station is back, when I first brought it back out. We're over 7 million views, over 6,000 posts of people using this and talking about it. And it's for an amplifier. It's like one of the all-time rated threads ever on that music player forum, and it's a keyboard site when they're talking about an amplifier. So it's kind of cool. Thank you, guys.
These things have the combination of being, they're exciting to listen to, but they wear well. A lot of things that you listen to that have an excitement, they wear on your ears and you get tired of it. You can listen to these forever, but they still have that excitement, and that's...
They're big and they're exciting. I'm a guitar player. And when I play to a guitar rig, I hear a chorus and a ping pong and a delay, just like I've got headphones on. But I can stand anywhere in the room and it sounds exactly the same. So I know what we're hearing over here on this microphone, which is monaural. By the way, we're recording all of this through a stereo MS system that is up in the ceiling of my studio. We use this a lot. It's basically the microphone with a front side capsule that is the technology of Centerpoint Stereo, was this mid-side microphone technique in reverse. So we're actually recording it with a stereo microphone. That one right there, that's what's listening to right now, the speaker. That'll be on our track when we mix this down. So you're actually hearing what it sounds like in the room. But it would sound the same if I put that microphone over here. If I were to move that microphone over here, if I would put it over in that corner, you're going to hear the same sound. It just happens to be pictured and mounted permanently up there. When we do a horn ensemble or a string ensemble, we'll mic up the instruments, but we'll always have an MS mic over the top of it, getting the room sound in stereo. I love MS recording. It's been one of my favorite ways of recording for years. Handycams will have an MS little capsule array. That's how they get the stereo from a single position. And that was basically the brilliant idea that my good friend and departed friend Drew Daniels had when he brought me this idea. He said, we should do an MS speaker. Instead of encoding front and side capsules to produce left and right stereo, we should encode left and right stereo to produce it through a front and side speaker. And we tried it, and we about fell over how well it worked, and that was the beginning of Centerpoint Stereo. Aha, that's how it all started. And we're right back there recording with an MS microphone array, so it's kind of how we do it. We've tried everything that works the best. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thanks, Aspen. Thanks for letting me participate.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Fred, for stopping by with this amazing stereo generator.
In fact, if you don't want to fly this back to Virginia, you could just park it at my studio, and I'd be happy to store it. Minimal storage charges.
You're so gracious.
He is gracious. When he means minimal, it's LA minimal. So just be careful. Okay, thank you very much for coming, Michael. Thank you very much for coming, Fred. You guys have been a blessing to me and a blessing to Centerpoint Stereo, and many, many, many happy returns on all this stuff.
Thank you, Aspen.
Thanks, Aspen.
All right, that's a wrap, baby.